Here are over 10 times when Lisa Simpson fell in love, starting with the episode Lisa's Date with Density. At Springfield Elementary, Superintendent Chalmers shows off his new 1979 Honda Accord to Principal Skinner, but is upset to find that the car's hood ornament is missing. Skinner orders a locker-to-locker search, and the students laugh at Chalmers for crying about it. Later, it turns out Nelson stole the ornament, and his locker is full of other stolen items, which he refers to as his principal's ransom. As punishment, Nelson must return the stolen goods. Lisa asked Nelson why he bullied others, but he insulted her by making fun of her body.
Don't you realize your butt sticks out?
Hey!
Nelson is then made to help groundskeeper Willie with chores around the school. In music class, Lisa gets caught staring out the window at Nelson bothering Willie and gets detention. While in detention, Nelson walks by the window and gives her tips on how to finish her punishment quickly. After he leaves, Lisa realizes she has developed a crush on him. Lisa tries to express her feelings for Nelson by passing him a love note in class, but Nelson mistakenly thinks the note is from Milhouse, and he ends up seriously injuring him. Lisa decides to help Nelson become a better student and changes his look by taking him to the Oui Monsieur, where he gets a new sweater and slacks. Nelson feels awkward and says he feels like a tool. Despite this, the two share a kiss during their date at the Springfield Observatory. At first, Nelson kisses her to shut her up, but he ends up liking it. Nelson's friends, Jimbo, Dolph, and Kearney lead him down the wrong path. They convince him to throw spoiled coleslaw from behind Krusty Burger at Principal Skinner's house. Skinner quickly suspects the boys, and they run away. Nelson goes to Lisa for help, claiming he's innocent. Lisa believes him at first, but eventually, Nelson admits the truth.
You lied to me.
Nuh-uh.
There, you did it again.
Lisa realizes he has been lying to her, so she decides to end their relationship for both of their sakes. But wait, they meet again in the episode titled When Nelson Met Lisa. While practicing her graduation speech in an empty stadium, Lisa sees Nelson struggling with training equipment. Later, the two talk about their past, recalling the time they were briefly romantically involved. Nelson then takes Lisa to his house, which is located in the bell tower of the Memorial Church. They spend the night talking and watching the sunrise together. At Lisa's graduation ceremony, she gives her speech while everyone throws their caps in the air. As the family leaves Springfield, Lisa thinks about what her life with Nelson could be like.
Huh?
But she chooses not to stay and leaves the town without saying goodbye. 5 years later, Lisa is married to Hubert Wang, a successful technology entrepreneur and Time Person of the Year. They are on a train leaving Springfield when they encounter Nelson, who is with a bounty hunter named Rod. Nelson reveals that he and Rod are now in a relationship. Meanwhile, Hubert becomes upset upon knowing that Lisa once had feelings for Nelson, who used to bully him. The two couples share their relationship stories. Hubert proposed to Lisa on the moon, and Rod escorted Nelson for his overdue library book. When Lisa and Rod step out to get a drink, Hubert angrily confronts Nelson, thinking his life is superior and that he has won Lisa's affection. Nelson responds by giving Hubert a wedgie and suspending him from a coat hook. When Lisa sees Hubert in this state, she tells Nelson that he hasn't changed. 5 years later, Nelson and Lisa run into each other at a phone store owned by Hubert. Nelson shares that his relationship with Rod has ended, and Lisa reveals that her relationship with Hubert has also ended. They decide to grab coffee at Buzz Light Roast, almost exploring the possibility of rekindling their own connection. However, before anything can happen, Hubert unexpectedly teleports in and begs Lisa to take him back, claiming he has changed. He even uses drones to deliver an apology and projects Lisa's graduation speech across the sky. Bro is desperate to get Lisa back, and Lisa agrees to reconcile with Hubert, encouraged by Nelson's advice. But deep down, Nelson is frustrated with himself for not stopping Lisa and ends up giving himself a wedgie. 4 months later, Jimbo and Sophie are about to get married and ask Nelson and Lisa to be the best man and maid of honor. Both agree to attend the wedding, only to be surprised when they find each other there. During the ceremony, Nelson becomes upset upon seeing the closeness between Jimbo and Sophie and leaves, reflecting on the connection he could have had with Lisa. On the other hand, Lisa, noticing Hubert distracted by his phone, looking up Divorce Wizard, decides to go after Nelson. She admits her feelings to him, saying she wants to be with him, and the two share a last kiss. After all these years, they still have feelings for each other. I don't know what love could be if this isn't it. Comment what you think about Lisa and Nelson. Moving on, we have Lisa the tree hugger. The Simpson family goes to Krusty Burger, only to find a group of people in cow suits protesting on the roof. That's when Lisa saw Jesse Gross for the first time, the charming and nonviolent teenage leader of a radical environmentalist group called Dirt First. Jesse claims to be a level 5 vegan, refusing to eat anything that casts a shadow. Lisa visits him in jail and develops a crush on him. She later joins Dirt First and attends her first meeting, where Jesse informs the group that Springfield's oldest redwood tree is about to be cut down by the rich Texan. The group needs someone to stay in the tree to stop the logging. And after many people turn down the offer, Lisa volunteers, hoping to impress Jesse. Lisa sets up camp in the tree before the construction crew arrives. The rich Texan, realizing it would be a crime to harm a child, tells the crew to back off, thinking Lisa will eventually come down. Lisa remains in the tree, and while she manages to stay there with enough food, water, and supplies, a stormy weather change makes it hard for her to continue. Missing her family, she leaves the tree for one night, only to return the next morning and find the tree has fallen. At first, she thinks the tree was cut down, but she soon learns that it wasn't the loggers. The tree was struck by lightning. Lisa feels heartbroken, but is relieved to know the tree wasn't deliberately destroyed. After the storm, everyone in Springfield believes Lisa has died and offers their condolences to the family. Even Jesse feels bad and cuts off his favorite dreadlocks to add to her memorial. The rich Texan initially plans to turn the forest into a sanctuary in Lisa's memory, but later decides to build an amusement park called Lisa Land, which upsets Lisa. Luckily, Lisa is still alive and protests the park. During the protest, Jesse cuts loose the log that was being used as the sign for Lisa Land, and it crashes through Springfield's business district. The log then continues on a cross-country journey toward the sea. Although Jesse ends up in jail again, his efforts to protect the environment haven't been in vain. This episode shows how strong Lisa's love and feelings can be for someone. Next, we have Lisa's wedding. The Simpson family visiting a Renaissance fair, and Homer being Homer eats 8 types of meat, while Lisa, being embarrassed, wanders off and discovers Friar Wigham's fantastical bestiarium. One of his unimpressive creatures, an Esquilax, escapes into the forest, and Lisa follows it. She stumbles upon a fortune-telling booth, where she is skeptical at first, but the fortune teller accurately names her family members and their activities.
What's your hurry? Bart, Maggie, and Marge are at the joust, and Homer is heckling the puppet show.
The fortune teller then starts speaking about Lisa's first true love. The scene then shifts to a flash-forward set in 2010, 15 years into the future. Lisa, now 23 years old, gets irritated by a British student named Hugh Parkfield. Initially, they argue over a book in the library, but they later find they have a lot in common and fall deeply in love. Hugh invites Lisa to visit his family in England, where she is impressed by the elegant Parkfield manor and their good manners. Hugh proposes to Lisa,
Go to plan B.
and she happily accepts. The next day, Lisa calls home to share the news of her engagement to Hugh, and Marge promises to stop Homer from ruining the wedding. Cause Homer and problems go hand in hand, they always seem to follow each other. However, after all these years, Homer is still working at the Springfield nuclear power plant in Sector 7G, with Milhouse as his supervisor. When Homer mentions Lisa's upcoming wedding, Milhouse reveals that Lisa is his one true love. A flashback shows Lisa telling Milhouse during a date that she never planned on getting married, which causes Milhouse to tear up. On the day of the wedding, Hugh tells Lisa that after the wedding, they'll go back to England and she may never see her family again. Lisa gets angry and says that even though she complains about her family, but she loves them and can't marry someone who doesn't understand that. and she calls off the wedding. Yeah, she literally canceled her own wedding by herself. A charming boy named Nick is the next one on our list. From the episode, the daughter also rises. It all starts when Lisa notices a boy reading a book through a crack in the restaurant wall. When the boy, whose name is Nick, sees her, she says sorry. But Nick responds with charming and romantic words. They meet at the dessert table, where Nick tosses a fork into the air, declaring he'll eat whatever the fork lands on. When Lisa tries to tell him her name, Nick stops her, saying he wants the first place he hears her name to be special. Lisa says it anyway, claiming that the restaurant is now the most special place. The next day, Lisa meets Nick again and becomes so focused on him that she ignores chaos around her, like Gil bathing in the fountain and Snake throwing a tied-up Apu into a dumpster. Their relationship flourishes, but Marge grows jealous of how much time Lisa spends with Nick. Lisa seeks advice from Abe, who compares her relationship to a fairy tale and suggests they must kiss under a tree to make their bond eternal.
Forever.
Lisa imagines this as a Disney story, complete with a talking parrot. Determined, Lisa takes Nick to a small island with the help of Grandpa. Marge and the family chase after them to stop the plan. When they arrive, Lisa starts doubting the idea of eternal love, especially after noticing Nick's insecurity. Marge reaches the island just in time, and Lisa and Nick mutually decide to break up. Nick admits he has a knack for lying to women and leaves. However, Marge kisses Lisa under the tree, symbolizing their unbreakable mother-daughter bond. Moving on, we have Haw-Haw Land. It starts on a rainy day, when the Simpsons head to a STEM conference, where Lisa meets Brendan Biederbeck for the first time, a charming, talented piano player voiced by Ed Sheeran. Lisa quickly develops a crush on him. Brendan impresses everyone, even overshadowing Lisa's ex-boyfriend Nelson, who tries to win her back musically at Phineas Q. Butterfat's ice cream parlor. This leaves Lisa torn between her past and present feelings. At the school talent show, Nelson and Brendan compete musically, but Nelson's performance is met with boos, while Brendan dazzles the audience. However, Brendan is disqualified for living in West Springfield and must transfer schools. He bids farewell to Lisa, who ends up enjoying her independence after Nelson admits he's not ready for a relationship. Next, it is Milhouse, who is madly in love with Lisa, and deep down, Lisa also likes him. This happens in the episode Homer Scissorhands. After watching Finding Nemo from the beginning for the first time, Milhouse has a big realization. He and Bart always skip the start, missing the part where Nemo's mom dies. But this new detail hits Milhouse hard, and he realizes that if a fish can lose its mom, anyone could. Inspired to live life to the fullest, he confesses his love to Lisa and even writes her a love song. Lisa, however, rejects him. But Milhouse is built different. He then catches the attention of Taffy, an older 5th grader girl. They start dating, but Lisa becomes suspicious of Taffy's intentions. Thinking Taffy might be using Milhouse, Lisa begins spying on their dates. Taffy eventually grows annoyed with Lisa's interference and breaks up with Milhouse, saying he's too obsessed with Lisa to truly care about anyone else. Heartbroken, Milhouse confronts Lisa, asking how much pain she wants him to tolerate. Feeling guilty, Lisa kisses him to cheer him up. But when Milhouse asks if the kiss means she likes him, Lisa hesitates and says that life is full of surprises, encouraging him to keep looking for love. Just as things seem better, Milhouse faints and falls off a cliff, but is saved by an eagle. Lisa smiled, relieved to see him happy again despite everything. So this isn't between both of them, right? Well, no. In the episode Holidays of Future Past, when a scene jumps 30 years into the future, Lisa is shown as a successful businesswoman, happily married to none other than Milhouse. They have a rebellious daughter named Zia, who loves to challenge her parents' rules and expectations. Next, we have Colin, an Irish boy who just moved to Springfield. In the Simpsons movie, we saw Lisa start to develop a crush on him after finding out that he can play 5 different instruments. Besides these incidents, Lisa has had a few more moments of falling for other boys. In Trilogy of Error, Lisa meets Thelonious, a student at West Springfield Elementary, and quickly falls for him. In the episode Dude, Where's My Ranch?, she develops feelings for a cowhand named Luke Stetson. In Treehouse of Horror 21, Lisa falls for Edmund Dracula, a mysterious new student who turns out to be a vampire. Even after learning his secret, Lisa isn't scared and begins a romance with him. However, she has second thoughts about becoming a vampire herself after realizing she would stay 8 years old forever. In the episode Lucas, Lisa saves a boy named Lucas Bortner or Luca Dollar from choking and develops a crush on him, despite not approving of his dream to be a competitive eater. She even starts imagining ways to improve him. In the Burns cage, Lisa starts liking a new boy auditioning for the school's Casablanca play, and they even go out for a root beer float together. Finally, in the Great Fatsby, Lisa meets a wealthy kid named Blake and agrees to hang out with him. However, after spending time whale watching and at a horse show, she dumps him for another boy who offers her time grooming horses. Lisa's love life is full of fucking surprises. Kindly let us know in the comments who you think Lisa should choose as her life partner.